जगन्नाथ की जय, गौर निताई भगवान की जय, पंचतत्वा की जय, लॉर्ड वामन देव की जय, लॉर्ड परशुराम की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील जय बलक्ष्मी गुरु महाराज। हरे कृष्णा। Okay, so we are in chapter second, 21 and 22. And one second. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Okay, so Bhagavad-gītā, Shloka 2.21 and 22 today. वेदावनि वेदावनियाशा वेद अविनाशिनं नित्यं ये एनम् अजम् अव्ययम् कथं सा पुरुषा पार्था कं घतयति हन्ति कम्. Translation. O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? And Sloka 2.22 is Vashamshi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinati naro aparani tatha sharirani nihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. Translation. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. So this is Lord Krishna explaining it to Arjuna, where he was there in the battlefield and he has doubts about, as a Kshatriya, he is there to fight for his rights, and he has these doubts and he has these questions, and he's asking Lord Krishna, who's both his friend and who's his charioteer, and who's now his um, teacher. He's taking him as guru, and he knows that Krishna is Bhagwan also. And Krishna is his relative also. So so Krishna will now be giving the discourse of Bhagavad-gītā and remove all his doubts, so he can perform his duty um, to Krishna. So this is how it is, the ongoing discussion. Right, okay. So Srila Prabhupada explains that Vashamsi Jinani Yatha Vihaya. So just as we throw our old garments and unusable garments and we get new garments, we wear new garments. So similarly, the soul is changing its body garments from childhood. This anybody over time can see, build his intelligence, and he can see that this is going on. And here the body has been compared with garment, just like coat or shirt, and the tailor, just like tailor who designs cuts the coat according to the body size measurement. Similarly, by the design, this material body has been cut or designed according to the spiritual body. So Srila Prabhupada emphasizes here on something. Um, uh, the spiritual body is not nirankara. That is, it is not without any form. As today in prevalent, it is very prevalent, and in fashion, people consider that the spiritual body or the Atma has no form, whereas using this example, we can see that the spiritual body definitely has a form, right? The coat has got hands or trousers has got legs because the person who is using it the coat or trousers, he has got hands and legs. So this proves that the spiritual body is not impersonal, it has got a form. And in Katha Upanishad, it is stated that there are two forms and both are spiritual. An Anor Aniyan Mahato Mahyan Katha Upanishad 1 to 20. One, our form is so minute that it is lesser than the atom, and the other form, which is spiritual, the supreme also, which is also spiritual and is the supreme lord's form, is Virad Rupa Mahato Mahyan. So both are sitting in the same body, in the same heart. One is compared to be sitting, both are compared to two birds. One is enjoying the fruits and other is just observing. So nihito guhayam, guhayam means in the heart. So so it is mentioned in many places, in many scriptures, and even in Bhagavad-gītā, and many places will come across this, like in 18.61, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe. So Hriddeshe is in the heart. So it is very specifically mentioned here also. Both the soul and the super soul are situated within the heart. And even medical science also agrees or acknowledges that heart is the center of all activities of the body. If the heart were to be compared to like an office, then the brain is like the manager and Krishna is like the director. So it is also mentioned in another place that Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sanivishta. I am sitting in everyone's heart. So we can understand that heart is where the soul and the super soul are. So we need to find out God, understand Krishna, and then our lives will be better. So so the supreme director Krishna is sitting there and he's directing, so and he's sanctioning. So the living entity, after coming to this material world, he wants to enjoy and has got so many material desires, and Krishna is allowing or sanctioning and he's giving direction to the material nature. He's allowing the jivatma to enjoy because he has this desire. He's giving direction to the material nature to give him or her a body as per the desires or as per the karma incurred. So now Krishna is directing to the material nature, give this person a new vehicle, a body, a yantra for this living entity because he wants to enjoy. And so let him enjoy. This is going on from time immemorial, birth after birth. We are taking birth, we are living, body is changing, and then we die. And with this, because of desires, we take another body, and so on. So this has been happening because we are thinking, we are desiring. So we living entities are manufacturing our different ways of life by thinking and by desiring so many things. But because we are persisting that I want to fulfill my desire in this way, Krishna is sanctioning, all right, let this jivatma, let this person enjoy. So we cannot fulfill our desires without the sanction of God, without the sanction of Krishna. It is not possible otherwise. So example, when a child persists to possess something, a toy or something, the father gives, okay, right, take it. And similarly, the living entity Jiva is desiring and the master Krishna is sanctioning, but with reluctance. This is not he would prefer that we be with him in spiritual world, but because we persist, we are reluctant. So because we are persisting, so he, with reluctance, he will sanction it. And the prakriti, the material nature, is giving this body. Okay, here is the body. Take it, and this goes on forever till we come to realization why we are here and how to get out of it. So all those things, what is our constitutional nature and what we are supposed to do in that body. So therefore, at last Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, give up all these nonsensical activities. I want this body, I want that body, I want to enjoy this material life in this way. Give up all these activities. So therefore, the original cause of our enjoyment or liberation is our own desire. So it is up to us if we desire to become free from this implication of cycle of birth and death, this old age, disease, and that choice is also available to free ourselves. Because we have got freedom, we have got free will. And if we want to continue with this implication of this material nature, material body, change of material body, vasamshi jirnani, we can continue. Now the thing is, we cannot enjoy spiritual life in this material body, but we can only enjoy this material world with the material body. Thus, hence, we have this material body, we are in this material world with this material body, and we continue to uh, enhance or advance our material existence. So, and if we want to enjoy spiritual life, then we have to have a spiritual body, and we have to come to that spiritual realization. But as now the thing is, we have been in this material world for so long, and we have had so many material desires, we have so many impressions of this material desires and experiences. We have forgotten our true nature, we have forgotten about our relationship with the Supreme Lord and our activities or services we are supposed to do. And we have no information of this, of the spiritual life now, or about our spiritual enjoyment. We simply continue to desire to enjoy this material world. And so, punha punash charvita charvananam. Um, Chewing the chewed. This is what is going on. So, so as in this material world, in this material body, we are thinking, if I go to theater, watch this movie, go to club, bar, outing, this and that, so many ways to enjoy this material nature. We're making so many arrangements. Then I can be really happy. I can really enjoy this and be happy. But we don't this doesn't last forever. And so the chewing the chewed situation, there is no rasa in it, there is no eternal rasa in it, there is no humor, there is no mellow in it. So therefore we are often disappointed even after trying so many, endeavoring for so many material enjoyments, advancements. We are very disappointed after doing all those things, and we continue to look for further more enjoyment somewhere else, pleasure in material objects. So Srila Prabhupada compares this to, if a person chews a sugar cane and takes juice out of it and then tries to chew it again, he will not enjoy it. There will be no juice or taste in it. So in this material world, people are trying to very hard to get pleasure out of something which has already been enjoyed or tasted. So this materialistic life is centered around primarily sex life. So material advancements, when we take initiation, we have this emphasis on four regulative principles: no illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. So it is all revolving around this thing, and it's very abominable, tucham. It's illicit. So Krishna allows it for, but to to get progeny, um, and make that progeny Krishna conscious, so that that person um, can also be liberated um, by living a Krishna conscious life. So that is allowed. And if anyone understands this, then he is actually liberated. But if one is still attracted towards all this material, then it is to be understood that there is still delay in liberation. And if one who has understood this and has left this material life and has taken to spiritual life or Krishna conscious life, then even though in this body he is liberated, then even though that he is continuing to live in this body, he is liberated. He is called Jivan Muktaha. So, um, but then how can one become free from this desire? Iha yasya harer dase. So, if you simply desire to serve Krishna, then you can get out of this. Otherwise, it is not possible. If you desire anything else other than the service to the Lord, then Maya will give us so many options. It will give us so many inducements. Why not enjoy this? Why not do this? It will give us so many options, and thus we see that we have this material advancement. We say that we have progressed in material world, in this material life, so much from that we compare to the yesteryears. We have got so many material paraphernalias. We've got initially there were small cars, and then there's so many bigger cars, and there are planes, and there is so many factories, and so we call this material advancement. And we are finding every day we are finding new innovative ways to come up with new things. Um, so Srila Prabhupada gives a quote of Yamunacharya. Um, he says that Yamunacharya said that since the time mam chetaha, I have engaged my life and soul, my consciousness in the service of the Lord, lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. And service, that spiritual service means every time he experiences it to be new, it is not hackneyed. Those who are spiritually realized, they will find that the service to Krishna means new enlightenment. There is always an element of newness in it, and the person will never be disappointed in doing the service to the Lord, even in this material world. So he will enjoy all this. But if we engage ourselves in the service of the Lord, we find that there is always an element of newness, and we will always feel encouraged to do it more, and that is spiritual. So Krishna, who is seated in our heart, and we, the living entity, are also seated in the heart, just like two friends on the same branch. And one bird is eating the fruit of the tree, while that is the jiva, the jivatma, the living entity, the soul, and he's making his fruitive actions, whereas the other is just observing and sanctioning. So one is the owner and the other is the occupier, and the occupier of the body is the Jivatma, and the owner is Krishna. So Krishna's another name is Rishikesha, because he is actually the controller or owner of the senses or sense organs. But we have forgotten this, and we have been using it, misusing it actually, our hands, legs, all our senses, and we are forgetting that Krishna is the owner, we are just the occupier. So because of forgetting all this, we are suffering in this material world. So Srila Prabhupada gives an example that just this is just like a person rents an apartment and he occupies that apartment, and he's given the license to occupy the room, but he's not the owner. But if he thinks that he is the owner, then it is he is misguided. He's wrongly guided. He's immediately misguided. Um, so Krishna is the owner of everything, whether it is this body or the country or the nation or the whole world or the universe. Nothing belongs to us. Everything belongs to Lord Krishna because he is the owner. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Krishna says, I am the owner. Um, so this is our material condition. We forget all that, and we mistake that we are the owner, although we have just occupied and we are improperly using our occupation. And this is material condition. Um, so yeah. So this body is just a yantra, a tool, a machine made of material nature, material ingredients, but it is prepared under the order of Lord Sri Krishna. Um, so i- so so Srila Prabhupada gives an example that Lord Brahma, he when he saw himself seated on the lotus flower coming from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's navel, he was perplexed. He didn't know what to do. And Krishna saw that he was perplexed, and he gave him instruction. He gave him intelligence because he was seated in his heart. And so Krishna is also seated in our heart, and he is also guiding us to to come back to him in the spiritual world, go back to God and the spiritual world. He's giving ready to give us instruction, that while we are here, we can live a spiritual life, serve him, and achieve perfection and go back home, back to Godhead. And he's inspiring us from within our heart. All we have to do is just take to this spiritual life, Krishna conscious life, and we can end this material existence and the suffering, material suffering of repeated birth and death, and be eternally be with Lord Sri Krishna in the spiritual world. But we need to be disgusted with our material existence. We need to understand this, why all this is not the best option. And but Shri says that we are so shameless that we are not disgusted with it, and we want to continue to enjoy um, and misuse this. So everything, all this detail is given in Bhagavad-gītā, all these instructions, and we can study these instructions, we can understand about Krishna consciousness and remain Krishna conscious while we are here, All details are there. What is my constitutional position, how I'm working, and this cycle of birth and death is going on, and how I can be liberated from it. And we are getting this body one after another, and we are wandering in this material existence, in this material world. So all these instructions are given in this Bhagavad-gītā. We have to read this Bhagavad-gītā, take association of devotees, Vaishnava devotees, and practice this Krishna consciousness, and one day come to realization that we have to have a guru, and with mercy of guru we can come to understand the spiritual scriptures, this spiritual knowledge, and uh, live a spiritual life of perfection and go home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone. Thank you Prabhuji Mataji. Thanks for joining. And once again, very happy Gaur Purnima to you, and a very happy Holi. So today is Gaur Purnima, and the Lord, that is Sri Krishna Chaitanya himself, that is Lord Sri Krishna himself, who has appeared with the bhava of Srimati Radharani, and he is the most munificent avatar. So Krishna is Krishna in all his avatars, he is very munificent, he is very merciful, he is full of compassion. But Lord Chaitanya's avatar, he's very special. He Krishna, when he killed all the demons, when he appeared in his Dwapar Yuga Leela, whoever demons he killed, they were liberated. Even they were liberated. So what to think of, what to say of his devotees who want to please him or serve him? So he is giving his mercy without Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving his mercy to one and all. He is not considering whether he is what varna or ashram he is in, whether he is qualified or not. He is giving his most merciful Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and one simply needs to chant this and be liberated and come to Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, if we were to otherwise we would not get this, because we would not be otherwise qualified to get this. But he's so merciful, he's giving this without any consideration to all. While he was here, he even he even liberated, made these animals in the forest of Jharkhand dance. So so today is the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day, and I think we have a program in Sheshadri Jagannath Mandir, Sheshadripuram temple also. So he can take full opportunity of that and enjoy a very happy Gaur Purnima. So thank you Prabhuji Mataji, thanks for joining. Thanks Ananda Rupa Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Amarendra Prabhu. Thank you for the nice
Hare
class.
Krishna Prabhuji Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
To all
Krishna.
devotees.
Pranam.
Hare